Hi folks, welcome back. I'm out here in the pine forest again, in that no man's land period between Christmas and New Year. I checked my map out from last week. I had the intention of going down to the far end of the trail that's just over here. What I was going to do was I was going to take in a square area that looks interesting from Google Maps. I've never visited at all, ever. So I don't know what the actual terrain's going to be like. I want to check that out today. It's another tick off the list. As you can probably see behind me, we've got some fog this morning, and it is fog. It's not just an early morning mist. On the drive here, out on the roads, it was really dense. Visibility was very limited. And obviously as we get into the particularly pine forest, it doesn't quite make its way in fully, but there are patches, as we have over here, just where you get the mist coming down into the canopy. Half of me wanted to head off into ancient Sherwood, pick up on some old ancient trees because of the fog, and the other half of me wanted to stay true to my intention of exploring this place over the next 4 or 5 weeks. Really magical in here this morning. Everything's very, very still, and I'm keen to get a move on. So I'll pop a map up on screen and I'll just highlight the area I'm going to visit today that I didn't get to visit last week. So no more waffle, I'm going to get going, find this little clearing, and when I find a composition I should of course bring you back. I'll see you shortly. Okay, this is what looks like a clearing from above on Google Maps, and it is seriously dense. Just taking a step into here, and this is up somewhere around my waist. I'm not going to easily get through that, but I've come into the very start of it from down there, and at this point I've got one trail leading off into these lovely pines. That's the route that we'll eventually be leaving here on. But then there's another little trail I didn't spot on Google Maps, so I'm going to have a wander up there because we might have some of this fog available if we've got any openings or clearings or anything like that. What I tend to do is, if I'm out exploring anywhere and I find any intersections or crossroads, it's distracting, it's not necessarily the best practice. But what I do is I tend to go probably 20-30 yards in each direction, and I just scout to see if there's anywhere that's enticing. It can act as a reason to come back to a place or justification to take a different route, have a bit of a detour or something. So I just did that here. I had a walk up this trail, and trail goes off down in that direction, which looks kind of mysterious. These beautiful pines, climbing. I found that I'm on the top of a bit of a hill. That rolls off down there, drops away, and there's a trail at the bottom. There's a layer of light just cast through. We get a little bit of sky, signs of some of the distant pines up there, and we get these huge pines. Just awesome. Now I can't easily capture that message without having a very narrow, very tall image, which isn't really much use to anyone. But I can get a sense of it because I'm on a hill, and I've gone for a portrait composition and tried to just capture a sense of the depths of the dense wood at the bottom there, and then the scale of these huge pines. Sorry about the dogs. That's the huskies. I'm shooting at 1/6 of a second, f7.1. I was at exposure, and ISO 100. Just love it. Just passed a chap with a pack of dogs saying we could have some snow later. So that really would be the icing on the cake. Anyway, so that's just a simple capture, or taking advantage of that little bit of a hill. I'm going to head up this trail now, have a wiggle up there and see what I can spot over up there on the right and the left. Onwards, see you in a bit. I don't know how to explain this place. Different to anywhere else I've been in a long time. There's saplings everywhere, and there's young pine trees, young silver birch. There's some heather, so the terrain's quite harsh to get through. Flanked by pines all around, mist rolling in, and every now and again you just get this little thing of interest. My mind's just buzzing. I can't. Another composition. Spotted this little arc of a silver birch just sat here all on his own. What do I like about it? Well, apart from his contour, that white, the little rusty bits of brown that are filling in his delicate little trunk. What I like is he's not got many mates around that are particularly bright. There's one in the background there, one off to the right here. But with the mist in the background and the green on the tips of the pines, and then the wintry branch there, and this lovely twisted trunk on this brown, heathy, ferny base. Have I sold you that one yet? Sold it myself. Composition. Let's turn the brightness up a little bit. There's actually on the screen here, I don't see it by eye, although now I'm looking at the back of the GoPro, I kind of do. There's one trunk here, and there's another trunk there with this fellow in the centre, so there's actually quite a symmetrical possibility there. So looking at the composition on camera, what I've done is I've centralised the silver birch based on these two trees either side. So the composition is, it's not symmetrical, but it's centralised. I don't even know if that's English, but hey ho. As you can see there, bottom of the silver birch coming out the base of frame with all this rough ground, gradation through the fog into the pine trees and then up into the sky. Now, because the sky is very bright and this is very dark, I think I'll get away with a single shot. It's like a shot of two halves. So we've got the bottom half which is dark and the top half which is very bright. Not the perfect combination, but I think the dynamic range, because it's foggy, should allow me to draw some of the detail out of the shadows and dip some of the highlights. My eyes are everywhere, I'm sorry. I just can't get enough. That's this one. It'll appear in a gallery at the end. I've got a couple of shots. I've took a couple of casual shots floating around. Nothing special. This is the nicest thing I've seen this morning, I think, apart from the huge pine wood from the top of that hill. Yeah, I'm eager to carry on up this trail a little way and see what we can find. So I'll pack this up, get a move on, bring you back when I find another. It's got dense fast. Very cool, very, very cool. I'd like to try and describe it in words, but I'm not going to be able to. It's an incredible mixture of dotted pines, these saplings, silver birch, spruce, fir. There's some big old trees in the background. I'd need to spend a day here, just here, bring some sandwiches and a big flask, and just come and focus on this area. It's too much for me to just casually take in. Part of the justification, part of the reasoning for me coming to do these explores is so that I can find places like this. Doesn't mean I'm going to come away with any great shots today, although I might have one, I don't know yet. I've took a few. I'll be sticking a pin in this place for sure, because this is amazing. You wouldn't be able to get here on two wheels, no mind on, by a car or anything like that. I've seen very little foot traffic. So it's just mesmerising, really is beautiful. I'm going to head back over in that direction. There's a trail along here somewhere out this way. Go back down the trail, drop down. You can just about see the top of the pines in the distance. That's how far along here I've come. So I'm going to head back there, take a left, and pick up on the route that I set out at the beginning of this video. And the fog's hanging around, it's not going anywhere, so toot sweet, let's make a move, and I'll catch you when we've got a little bit more space. I'll see you in a bit. It's been an amazing day. That clearing area that's not a clearing has so much to offer, mostly just for its diversity. The heather, the silver birch, the little saplings en masse, the occasional pine, flanked or with a backdrop of huge pines and quite dense pines, gives a nice contrast in frame. So there's a lot to play around with down there, and I'm definitely going to be marking an X on the map for that spot, and I'll go back there for sure. I haven't even made it down to the second clearing area yet. I'm going to have to go by, but any more composition is just going to make the video too long. So I've stopped off here very quickly, just because as I was walking along this trail here, I've come from this way, I'm heading down here, and just around the corner at the end there, turn to the left, and that's where the second clearing is. And I just spotted this light coming through this bit of pine wood, and it's so bright here, and it goes right the way down to the horizon, the actual forest floor, which is unusual. We're on a bit of a hill again, so we're elevated, looking down into what must be a clearing. The light's getting through, so just for a simple little composition, what I've got here is I've taken the horizontal thirds, bottom third to be the horizon. I've got this initial bit of vegetation. There's nothing special about it. It's just really quite an abstract shot, but I'm concerned with the light. I just love the light there in the background, and I'm sure in post-processing that's going to, it's really going to draw itself forward with the mist. So yeah, I'm kind of motivated by this creatively. Quarter of a second, f6.3, it was down one stop there. Focused in on this tiny little twig at the front here, just so the background goes off soft. And there we go. So I think that's a wrap for this week, folks. Everywhere I look, there's somewhere else to go explore. It's amazing. So explore more I will. And next week, what I intend to do is I'm going to leave this southern side of this pine forest, and I'm going to head north into the thick of the actual main forest itself. This is kind of all on the periphery. So next week, it'll be a pine fest. But anyway, for today, I'll call this a wrap. Pop up a gallery now, and yeah, next week we'll head off deep into pine territory. So till then, thank you very much for watching. Please take care of one another, and as ever, if you can't be good, just be careful. I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye for now.